hitting you guys once again. Once again with another Undiscovered Gems video. I'm hitting you guys with a lot of these lately, man. We've had like 3 in about a month. Yeah, I hope you're enjoying it. Now we're looking at another artist named Yerin Baek. Last time we looked at Chloe Pelgag, but once again we're going overseas. We are not sticking to the United Kingdom this time around, although most of this series hasn't looked at United Kingdom anyway. But that's kind of a pointless thing to say. Anyway, we're looking at, once again, an artist who is not mentioned much in the Western world. And not mentioned much by anyone, actually. I think Chloe Pelgag had a bit more of a pull than Yerin Baek compared to, you know, when you're looking at music publications, music reviewers, critics, you know, online music circles. Yerin Baek is definitely not a name that is ever mentioned. And it's a recent discovery from me as well. Thank you, Josh. I will say thank you to Josh for finding this artist. And I think she got like a front page review or something on Rating Music, which helped bring to light this music and this artist, which is why I always say that is definitely one of the best places for discovery in terms of music. People criticize it, people criticize the charts, the comment boxes, the reviews that are written on there, the kind of general attitude from snobby music nerds. It's all kind of put in one box, and then people kind of look at the website and think it's all bad because of that. But I will say that some of my favorite artists of all time and some of my favorite albums have been discovered through that website. So I will never have a huge amount of issue or, you know, be hugely negative towards Rating Music because of that. And a discovery like this is just exactly why, man. This is just such an elegant and well-crafted pop release here. It's so sophisticated. This might be one of the most sophisticated pop releases I think I've ever heard. And there are plenty of albums in that genre that have gotten their fair share of praise over the years. Just looking at artists like Sade, for example. But no, it's this completely unknown artist that is the cream of the crop somehow. And contrary to some previous albums I've discussed in this series, you will not have any issues with language barrier, because I will tell you now, she speaks English. She sings in English. Every word on this album is English, pretty much. And it's really impressive how she sells those words. I mean, you know, usually you wouldn't expect an artist from a different country to sing an album in an English language. They tend to sing in their own language, but yeah, everything hits. I mean, her lyrics are really great. She's really good at giving off this sense of love and passion, often writing songs about another person and things like that. And you know what, like, there is never a point on this album where the lyrics feel like they're undercooked or underwritten or on the nose, cliche. She is very good at making you feel that pure love. I'm super impressed with the writing on this, and it's great because there are times where it might not be the most original thing that she's singing about, but she has a way with words that I find to be incredibly beautiful. There's a sophisticated beauty to this, the seductive strings that come throughout the absolutely gorgeous horn sections that pop up. There is just an immaculate sensation coming from the production here. Every track feels produced to perfection. It's so calming throughout, it is tranquil at points, it just really soothed you, and listening to her voice over this instrumentation is just godly. Like, it is godly. It sounds heavenly most of the time throughout this album. Like, there aren't really many moments that feel like they aren't, you know, hitting you hard. Some of the instrumentals blossom gorgeously too, namely 0310. I love the way that track progresses, and there are a few tracks as well that start off so gorgeous and then they somehow just elevate into heights that you just weren't quite expecting. It's like the heavens open up and you're just like, whoa, okay, now I can see beyond what I was seeing before, and it's somehow even better. Wow. It's kind of like when you have a bed and it's comfy and you're happy with how you're sleeping, but then you like change the mattress or you sleep in a different bed at maybe a hotel and you're like, wow, it suddenly just got better. and yet you just experience the comfiness of it, and you just have to sit there and go, wow. That's what this album is. Like, so many moments on this album just hit you with that. You think it's comfy, and then somehow it gets comfier. She is so good at that. Poppo is one of the most romantic songs of the past few years, and I am so pissed at myself that I did not get onto this album when it came out in 2019, because this is one of the best songs of that year now. It's hindsight that's telling me that, but I am happy to say that yes, this is definitely one of the best songs of that year. If you've ever listened to the song Hot Dreams by Timber Timbre, it's got a very similar feel to it, because again, both tracks have a very dreamy, soft aesthetic, the you know, such a wonderful vibe throughout the track. The vocals are sultry, just like Yerin Baek's vocals across this whole album. Very, very seductive and sultry. And then by the end of the track, the instrumental just kind of lets loose and progresses on its own. It kind of like goes in its own direction, sort of like a bird leaving the nest and, you know, exploring life on its own. It's a really great moment. And both songs just managed to express love in such a great way. I always felt that Hot Dreams was such an overlooked track in terms of like love songs, and Poppo is just, once again, another overlooked track in terms of love songs. The part where she says, "You'll never know how much your voice attracts me, boy." Oof, that is butterflies in the stomach, man. She's talking about me. I know. You're just listening to the song, and you're just sat there like, it's about me. It's about me. That's what it is. I've just pulled up some more of the lyrics as well, because there's so many on this track that are just so gorgeous, man. Like the part where she's talking about how she wants to be intimate. The chorus as well, where she says, "Can I walk with you or have tea with you? Your scent makes me feel like I live in Paris. Can I love you, giving my all to you?" Like, she's just pouring herself into this other person. It is just such a beautiful track, so wholesome as well. What's great as well, like, stuff like this can sometimes come across as cheesy as hell, but it just never does. Like, she has a way with her words that just are so specific. Like, "Can I have tea with you?" I mean, she's obviously singing about me. I'm British and I love tea. I've told you guys, it's about me. Honestly, divine, the whole thing. It's really beautiful. And then there's tracks like "Can I Be You?", which is like an opposite of this, really, because she's essentially looking at someone and wanting to be them. They're fearless, they're like a lion. They're just, I guess, holding all the qualities that she wants, and she's essentially just saying she wants to be like that. It's a very different track, but it works really well for what she's saying. That intimacy comes back though in the second half of this album, because it's split into two parts, and the track Square, where she totally sells once again the passion for this person, but essentially the kind of idea of, you know, wanting to stay up all night with someone. You know, you don't want them to go to sleep yet. It's like the way she words herself is somehow separating herself from the millions of songs that are written very similarly to this. Like the part where she says, you know, "Can we just have drinks and the next day can it be totally unmanageable?" Is an interesting way to word that. I assume she's talking about having a hangover, but again, she just has like a cute little way of just having specific details in her tracks. Some of the other tracks in the second half, like the second disc, I guess you could call it, detour into some like R&B trip hop type stuff. The new song too totally sounds like some 90s trip hop, which is interesting because none of the other tracks sound like this. And then there's a feature on Point from an artist named Loopy. Honestly, he kind of sounds out of place. He interrupts the track and it's going so well, but his voice just doesn't quite line up with the rest of the track. But it does sort of seem like this section of the album is her attempting newer stuff though, which explains why we do have that feature. It's not a bad part of the album at all, it's just a bit weaker with that track. But, you know, at least it ends so strong with the track London though. Just brings us back to all the great qualities that I've been expressing about everything else on this album on that final track. Another favourite of mine though comes in the first half with the track Meant to Be. Just stunning. Honestly, I keep repeating all the words I'm saying throughout this album for all of these tracks, and yeah, this is just another example of that, man. I just think you can really relax yourself listening to this album. I think it could fall into the background for some people and just end up being nice, and I get that, but there's something about what she's doing here that really touches me quite nicely. It's a great listen. And although it's a relatively recent discovery, it seemed like it was a perfect one to mention for this series because, again, it's a great listen that not many people have laid their ears on, and I think you should be checking it out because I think she is really good at what she does. Like I say, it's elegant, it's sophisticated, it's produced immaculately, the singing is never off the ball. She is a great performer, and she has other releases too that I need to be checking out. So yeah, what a great artist, and definitely one you should be checking out. Another undiscovered gem to add to the list. That's it. Thank you for watching this video. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments if you have heard this already. Hopefully going to do more of these at some point as well. Let me know what I should talk about in my next video. Got an itch? Subscribe if you haven't already. Have you got an itch to subscribe for the channel? Just scratch that itch and hit the button. Do have a good day. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Oh, if you want to watch more of these videos, click the playlist and see the 20 other albums I've done in this series, and hopefully you find some recommendations because that's what this series is about. So now I will say goodbye. Goodbye.